of the framework. So now when I say .NET framework, it is a framework which is given by Microsoft. See, framework I can also write. You can also write framework, but that does not mean we are going to write excellent framework. I'm talking about MS.NET framework. It's a framework which has been written by Microsoft and which is suitable enough to develop various kinds of applications using .NET. So it's a very strong framework, very easily extendable framework, very easy to use framework, and because it is by some giant like Microsoft, it has now become a universal standard for development of discrete type of applications on Windows platform. Anyways, let us spend some time before we get into MS.NET framework on understanding what is a platform. Now, when I develop an application, I have a hardware, right? I have hardware here using which I can, initially when I want to write a program, the option which I have is, first, everything started with we writing assembly code. So whenever we write assembly code, we always write for a given hardware. Assembly code is very tightly coupled for an hardware. So I have your assembly code, which is, we have your assembly code, and this assembly code sits directly on an hardware. So if I want to execute this assembly code on some other machine, I need exactly the same hardware on that machine. So here what I am saying is, hardware is the platform for the code which is written in the assembly language. And then we have got, so you understand here what is hardware? I am saying for assembly language code, hardware itself is a platform, the environment which is required for execution of our code. Now, on this hardware, we generally what we do, develop an operating system. So when we have an operating system over the hardware, using C and C++ programming languages, we are going to write applications for a given operating system. Suppose I am writing program in C language for Windows. I am going to use a Windows compiler. Which will compile C language source code, which will compile C++ language source code into machine instructions which are for Windows operating system. If I compile that using a Unix compiler, C++ language will end up compiling into Unix language machine instructions. So C and C++ are the languages which are like high level language. Some people say C is also middle level language, agreed. So yes, C++ is like middle level, high level languages which we write code and compile it for a given operating system. So here, application which is developed in C and C++. What is a platform? Here I say operating system is the platform for applications which are written in C and C++. I hope you understand here. Basically what it means is application is immediately dependent on this OS. So tomorrow if I change my machine, unless and until I have same operating system on that machine, my application which is written in C or C++ will not execute. So what is the immediate layer on which a C or C++ application is dependent on? Yes, OS. So here operating system is the platform. Change of platform, change of operating system, C or C++ programs do not work. So we always say that C or C++ applications are very much platform dependent. Now, everybody knows that Java is platform independent, very popular, very commonly talked about. Java is platform independent. How does Java become platform independent? See, what is going to happen now is, if I have Windows operating system on my machine, I am going to install JRE, Java Runtime Environment, for Windows. If I have Unix operating system, I am going to install JRE, Java Runtime Environment, for Unix. So when I develop now a Java application on a Unix machine, I don't look at Unix operating system. the immediate layer for which I am developing my Java application is JRE. So I develop a Java application, I get a dot class file, and for the dot class file of Java to execute on a machine, what we need to have on that machine or that operating system is a JRE. We don't care whether the operating system is Unix or is Solaris or is Windows. So Java application, what is the platform? I would say JRE is the platform for Java based applications. Like that. Now, is Java platform independent? Answer is obviously yes. So how does Java become platform independent? Suppose I take this Java application on another machine. What is that I need? I just need a JRE on that machine. Point is, if I develop a Java application for Windows JRE, will it work on Unix JRE? Yes, indeed it will work without any change in output. So the immediate layer where the Java application is dependent on is available on various combinations of hardware and operating system. It is not restricted to a given operating system or a given hardware. And thus, as Java looks at immediately JRE and JRE is available on various operating systems, we can say that Java is platform independent. The dot class files which are developed in Java would execute on every machine where there is a JRE present. And yes, the situation today is, name any operating system which is popular used for applications. Yes, we have got JRE available either by the operating system vendor or sometimes even by Sun Microsystem. JVM is very much available. Now let us come to .NET. For execution of .NET application, what we need on any machine is a .NET framework software. I'm going to talk more about .NET framework software, but yes, what we need is a .NET framework. Like in Java we have got JRE, in .NET we have got .NET framework. Once we have .NET framework installed on our machine, any application developed in .NET can execute on that machine. So like Java, is .NET also platform independent? We can say yes. The reason is .NET applications are not dependent on the operating system. .NET applications are dependent on .NET framework. So I can say all those operating systems on which .NET framework is available, the application what we developed in .NET can execute. Not necessary that it should be executed only in one particular operating system. So like Java is platform independent, even .NET is platform independent. But the difference is Java JRE is available on lot of operating system, whereas .NET framework is not available on all the operating systems, or I would say not available on many operating systems. Indeed, it is available on all the versions of Microsoft Windows. Like we have got .NET framework for Windows 98, ME, XP, 2000, 2003, Vista, Windows Server. All the operating systems by Microsoft, we have got .NET framework software available. We do have .NET framework software available even for Linux operating system. The framework is referred there as Mono.NET. And there are certain other operating systems also on which .NET framework is available. But to be very fair, the other operating systems other than Microsoft, all other operating systems which are not by Microsoft, there is not 100% implementation of .NET framework available. So in keeping that point in mind, it would not be appropriate to say that a .NET application developed on Windows is guaranteed to execute and give same output on Unix or Linux. For this reason, I would not say .NET is platform independent. So we actually, fairly speaking, we never say .NET is platform independent or platform dependent. We can stick to the point that for all .NET applications, the platform is .NET framework, and if you have .NET framework on your machine, my .NET application is going to execute on that machine. If you don't have .NET framework software installed on your machine, my application is not going to execute on that machine. So I hope this particular slide gives you clear picture of what exactly is .NET framework. Sorry, what is a platform, and is .NET platform independent or not? It always remains a question. You'll never see anywhere Microsoft claiming that .NET is platform